When you think about tailgates, you're wondering who is out there at 5, 6 a.m. when the game doesn't start until 3. But it's actually a ritual. And rituals are quite powerful. They lure people in to a set of activities, what we call a script, something that you do each and every time. We think about a tailgate. You show up, you create the environment, you prepare for the fans to come, and then you host, and it's a very festive experience. People tend to continue to perform rituals because they're seeking to have that same experience. It's also a force within community. Fans really believe that if they show their team that they're committed and that they're supporting them, it's going to give them just a little extra edge as they go out on the field. They want to see the bus drive into the arena. They want to make certain that the players on that bus see them out there tailgating so hard because they feel that that's going to, in some ways, contaminate those players and take that energy with them into the locker room and out onto the field. It's an amazing way to think about the power of ritual, but if you think about the various rituals that people perform in their lives, from holiday celebrations to family gatherings, tailgating is no different. When thinking about the origins of tailgating, you would imagine, has it only been around since cars have been around? And that's not actually how it started. There are accounts of tailgates happening back in the times of the Romans, when people would show up at the Colosseum and they would have foodstuffs in advance of watching whatever contest they were about to observe. We actually have evidence of tailgates happening during the Revolutionary War and perhaps even other wars. People probably want to show up and help those who might have been wounded. So in order to do that, you needed to have some foodstuffs to keep you going while you were on the sidelines. And at the time, there were no other real forms of entertainment. The entire country was pretty much glued to what was happening with these different battles. People knew when they would occur, and so they would go and support their side. It was before concession stands. It was before there was fast food on every corner. So if you're going to be somewhere for an entire day, of course you're going to be eating foods that are easy to carry, easy to eat, and don't require a lot of care while you're somewhere for maybe 8, 10, 12 hours. If we think about tailgating, it really is associated primarily with football. The thing that's interesting about football is it happens in the fall of the year, the natural time for the harvest season. And so I would imagine with the first football contest back in the 1860s, people were traveling some great distance. They were going to watch this contest. And again, they needed some nourishment. Now, I don't imagine they thought of it as the party, but at that point in time, it really was something to keep people nourished while they supported their home team. How did we go from just showing up to have some refreshments ahead of the contest to having these full-blown parties? It started off with just people wearing jerseys and the team colors. It soon advanced to people making these full-on day-long events. It wasn't too long before those that own these lots recognized there was an opportunity to support the fans in doing this, so they started opening the lots earlier. So as we've seen tailgating evolve, it's not just people pulling things out of their trunk anymore. Tailgating's actually big business. We see people bringing out generators so that they can run their blender to make frozen drinks. We see propane tanks. We've got satellite dishes for the TV. People actually do some really clever things to outfit their vehicles so that they can have an at-home experience with all the creature comforts right in the middle of cement. And what might that look like? It looks like converting recreational vehicles, taking old school buses and gutting them so that inside you can have a lounge where you can actually hang up all of the TVs and show multiple games in advance of the contest that you've actually come to watch in person. I love the heart that these fans have, and they want to ensure that their teams know that they have heart too. That's fandom. I love fandom. It's the best.